Well, one of my college coaches, back when I played at Auburn, he has ALS. He was a linebacker coach, Coach Frank Orgel. And he asked me if I could come to this event last year. And I couldn't because I had prior business engagements. So I told him that if I was free this year, I told him that I would come. I told him that I would come, and got into town last night before the weather got bad, and I am actually looking. I'm looking forward to this evening. So,
What are you hoping that people take away from tonight?
well, just to try to bring a little bit more awareness to the illness, to the disease, to let them know that this could happen to anybody. Actually, it's Frank that my fullback that blocked for me when I was with the Raiders. He's had it for almost 20 years now, so he's been bedridden. He was first round draft pick out of Penn State, Steve Smith, and he is battling it, and so forth and so on. So it hit home with me over 20-something years ago, and I've known about it. It's a devastating disease. It's a debilitating disease, and any type of awareness that we can put out there to let everybody know, to get people to donate to the cause, because I know that there's scientists and doctors that are working hard every day trying to find a cure, and any little bit that I can do to help that along by coming here, speaking, to make awareness, to talk to guys and girls like yourself, to allow the public to know that this is just one of many debilitating diseases out there that robs you of your abilities, to simple abilities, walking, talking, your cognitive skills, and so forth and so on.
There's been some research that suggests that ALS can be caused by head trauma. And obviously it's a different game today than when you played, but knowing what we know now about so many of the injuries that can be caused or can result after a career in football, would that change anything that you did in your career?
I wouldn't go back and change a thing in my career. I would be more aware. I can knock on wood and said I was fortunate not to have any head trauma, but my wife thinks differently. But head trauma can be caused from anything. You can fall off the ladder at home putting up Christmas lights. So it's just not in sports. It's just one of those things that you have to deal with through life.
Is head trauma can kind of stay hidden for a while? It doesn't necessarily have to manifest into a concussion. Does what we know now?
I don't want to turn this into a concussion. This is about ALS, so let's stick with that.
But what I was going to ask is, when you see former coaches and former teammates going through stuff, does it make you worry about your future?
I worry about my future every day. It don't have to be because I see someone that has a debilitating disease. I'm always checking. Cancer runs in my family, so that's always on my mind. That's always in the back of my mind. I don't let it control my day, but that's constantly on my mind. So I'm constantly going getting checkups. I lost my mother to cancer. I lost my father to cancer. Uncles and aunts, relatives, and so forth and so on. So yes, debilitating diseases, they don't discriminate. They don't care how much money you got. They don't care how big your house is. They don't care how many cars you drive or how many employees you have under you. It can hit anywhere. So I'm very familiar with it, and to make the public aware of it, just by letting them know that they need to go get checked. Everybody needs to get checked for everything. And that's the only way that we're going to spread the word. That's the only way to get the word out, is to have functions like this and do interviews like this. So.
Oh, you may have already addressed your relationship with Coach Orgel. I was talking to somebody else. If you haven't, could you talk about what he's meant to your life?
Coach Orgel was one of the assistant coaches on Pat Dow when I got to Auburn. And if I'm not mistaken, he was a linebacker coach, and he would always walk around. And he is one of those guys that I would look at as a father figure. And to have this to happen to him, actually, I really didn't find out that he had the illness until about 5 or 6 years ago, because we lost contact with me doing the things that I do. And I think the first thing that I did for him, I went to Georgia to do a quail hunt for him, and I don't know how long that's been, about 6, 7 years ago, and I haven't had time to go back because of business. And like I said earlier, he invited me to come to this last year, but I couldn't because of prior business engagements. So when he asked this year, I made it a point to put it on my schedule to be here for him. So, but even though he has this debilitating disease, he's still ornery. I threatened to beat him up in the hotel lobby. And his wife said, "Will you please?" Because she had to drive over with him from Georgia and so forth and so on. But he still has it. He still has it. Don't let the wheelchair fool you. Don't let the wheelchair fool you. So he's still ornery. As he is still Coach Orville. So.
He said he came to see you in the decathlon, and that you won the decathlon without running the mile, and then threw a one-hitter the next day. Now, I know stories go...
My legs wasn't built to run over 200 yards. I overheat. So, yes, I made a deal with my high school coach, because my sophomore year, I think I was runner-up in the decathlon, and I made a deal with him that if I could put enough points between second place and myself to where I don't have to run the mile. So he upped the ante, and he said, if you can put 500 more points, because you need 1,000 points to, and I did. That's just how much I hate running the mile. So, but yes, he saw me in high school and so forth and so on, and I think it was because of him watching me run track in high school. Went back and reported to Coach Dye that he needed to come see this kid at Metro Park.